So now that I've finished figuring out the major new outline for my blood magic project, it's time to go back in and fill in some of the details. I need to just figure out some of those little small detail pieces, and I need to go through and figure out some of the more concrete origin scenes so that I can weave those back in, and a few other story genius elements. But I'm actually going to be going to Ohio in the morning. We had something come up with family that required us to go out there for a little while, so I'm going to try to get some stuff done, but spending time with family is going to be the priority. So we'll see how much I get done. But if you want to look at any of my other videos that I've done on this whole journey, I guess, of going from my critique partner feedback and doing a reread and doing that analysis myself, through to kind of creating this new outline and getting ready to do this rewrite, I will link some of those videos in the cards and down below, but I need to get packing, so I will check in with you in Ohio. We are out and about with family, and we decided to come to this really big shopping center, and there's a giant Barnes & Noble, so yeah.
You know what the best part is?
Is that what we were listening to?
Book 3 is bigger.
Okay, I know, buddy. Zoom! We had so much fun yesterday. Well, mostly me. The kids had fun too, though, hanging out with Grandma. I got to shop for the first time without my kids in forever, and you don't know until you try shopping with a small child, but it's kind of difficult to do. But yeah, I got a ton of books. I'll do a haul, of the books that I bought once we get back. But I'm pretty excited. I spent way too much money on books, but then again, that was a giant Barnes & Noble, and I don't come out here that often, so it's kind of a once every few years kind of trip, so beep beep. My son's playing with his cars out here, but no, we had a ton of fun. We hung out last night in the pavilion in the rain, which was really cool, and now we're just chilling. My son's playing with his cars. I'm gonna do a little bit more work. I actually got a lot done yesterday morning. I think I figured out most of the mystery points and exactly where I was going to have each clue, because I kind of knew which clues I was going to have. I just didn't know which ones were going to be discovered when and how. So I got all that outlined out, which is good. So I'm just going through chronologically all the scenes and just filling in details, making notes of questions I still have. I think I mostly have it all done. There's like two little areas, one kind of hole in the Sears plot that I need to figure out what I want to happen there, and then one little piece that I need a little bit more detail for the main POV. But I'm getting really close to ready to, I don't know, maybe start rewriting? It's kind of scary to think about being ready to do that, but I might be close to ready, so we'll see. Okay, it is about an hour later. I finished going through all of the chapters, and it's crazy. I brought my copy of Save the Cat and Story Genius with me, so I'm gonna start reading through those and kind of seeing if there are any emotional moments or things that are supposed to happen in certain beats that I think might make sense to kind of make notes to make sure I make those strong and intentional, I guess. What? I have a blanket, not a jacket. Because I'm cold. I don't know why you're not cold.
Yeah, me all cold.
You are cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Won't put a jacket on, though. Yeah, so I'm going to keep going through that. I think when I get back this weekend, I think we're heading back tomorrow, I should be ready to start revising, which is crazy. I'm really hoping I get my new desk in so that I can have everything set up before I go, but I'm excited. Okay, so I am back home. I have a few updates. So I did end up starting last night working on going through the Story Genius kind of origin scenes for my blood magic project. I already have my characters' wants and fears and misbeliefs really well documented, and I have a concept of the origin scenes of these misbeliefs, but I really want to go through and just flesh them out because I think it'll give a little bit more color to everything in their background and give me really strong, emotionally impactful moments to bring forward. So I started going through that with my main character, Bryn, and it went really well. I'm excited about it. I want to go through the rest of them before I actually start digging back into the rewriting. And I want to go through, and I really love how Story Genius does this ticking escalation of the problem. The inciting incident is not the first moment they're pushed out of their comfort zone. There should be this increasing pressure building up, just like tick, 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 right? Pushing them to where they have to step out of their comfort zone and leave. But I love that concept that you can feel that pressure from the moment the book starts. You don't start in a neutral period. You're getting used to the old world and their life and their misbeliefs and everything, but there isn't neutral tension. There is already this start of tension being pressed on the main characters', misbeliefs and dreams and what they want, and them losing what they want and what, propels them forward into the plot. And I love that concept. So I really want to define that as well, what these tics are, what's been pushing on them, so that the readers can feel that tension from the very first chapters. I'm really excited about it. So I did get started on that progress, but I promised you a book haul. And I do want to preface this by saying that I don't think I've ever bought this many books at one time before. But most of them have been on my list. I went through, and when I moved the books up here, which are mainly the ones that I really liked, or ones that I want to read, or ones that make me feel really inspired, I realized there's a lot of books where I had gotten the first book or two, loved it, and then never remembered to go and get the later ones as they came out. So a lot of the books I got are part of series I already have. Some of them are research reference kind of books, and then some of them are just ones that I've been meaning to get anyway, and only a few were ones that I was like, this sounds really good. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be years before I get to go to another Barnes & Noble that big, so I kind of just lived it up and told myself it's a once every few years kind of experience, so I just let myself treat myself. And I have space on my bookshelf, so, it's always anytime you get new bookcases, it's well, I have space now. Horrible for the wallet, but let me see. Okay, so I'm going to start with, where are they? The reference books I got. The first one I got was A Brief History of Japan by Jonathan Clements. And this just looks really cool. I always try to expose myself to history and cultures of not just medieval European areas, if that makes sense. Just because I think that in fantasy, you have a tendency to see a lot of that, and it almost feels like the default fantasy setting. It's if you don't actually want to do any world building and do anything creative and have anything explained, and you just want it to sort of blend into the background, you just do a medieval European fantasy setting. And, it can still be done well and used well, but I like to try and expose myself to more things because I think it helps me just be more creative about my world building and be a little bit less overly European. But so Brief History of Japan. I also like learning just things that happen in history, because there's weird things that have happened in the world that can be really inspiring for, any sort of political situations and wars and, all that. So I like reading those. I got 1177 BC, which is the year civilization collapsed. And this just seemed really interesting. It has to do with Egypt and the Sea People, and it just sounds really cool. Got that one. And then I got The Private Life of the Tudors, and this is by Tracy Borman. And I really like these kind of books because, even though it's European, we have a lot of documentation about the lives of these people, and it gives a really good idea. Like, this is not just the political stuff that people commonly know about. This is like their private lives, what their normal lives were, what like the politics behind the scenes were and stuff like that. And in a lot of my fantasy worlds, not all of them, but I tend to have, you have kings and queens and emperors and rulers of various nations, and kind of getting a behind the scenes look at what their lives were like in history and on Earth. I find it helpful. So I got those 3 books for that, and then let's see, I got Circe, which I feel like everyone has heard of this one. This is by Madeline Miller, same author that wrote The Song of Achilles, and I've heard about this a lot, and it just sounds really cool. Very, Greek mythology inspired. I think it's going to be good. I've had my eye on it for a while. And then I got The Killing Moon, the first book of the Dreamblood series by N.K. Jemisin. And I actually bought the second book of this accidentally without realizing it was the second book. I think I got it at a secondhand store and I just saw it and was like, oh, I don't have that. And I grabbed it and then I was like, oh no. So I finally have book 1, so I can go through and read those. I have the Bone Shard series, or what do they actually call the series? The Drowning Empire series, book 1 and 2. This is by Andrea Stewart. And I've read The Bone Shard Daughter. It's been a while, but I read The Bone Shard Daughter. I haven't read The Bone Shard Emperor, and I really, really like this. So I figured I'd just get the physical copies. I've been in a physical book kick lately, so I got both of those. They're chonky. And then I got The Stardust Thief, which is a recent release, if I remember properly, by Chelsea Abdullah. And it says, a thrilling epic of found families, ancient magic, and stories that linger all over it. I think this is also one of those ones that I'd kind of seen and was looking into getting at anyway, just like Circe, or Circe. Don't know how that's pronounced, but I got that. And then this is a series I hadn't actually heard of before. This is, what does it actually say? The Sorcerer's Song series, book 1 and 2. So that's The Bard's Blade and A Chorus of Fire by Brian Anderson. And it just sounded cool. Assassins, magic, secrets. It just sounded good. And then I'm very excited about these, actually. So I got these 2 books. It's not a series. They're just 2 books by C.M. Wagner. But the first one that caught my eye was The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. And it just sounded so much fun. So basically, a fire witch and a young gentlewoman join forces against a deadly conspiracy. And it just sounds like a Regency novel combined with, like, I don't know. It just sounds really fun, so I got that. And then the other one of hers was A Natural Magic. And then the other thing I got, which it's kind of a lot, but I got an Illumicrate book. And I love getting these. I normally don't wait to open them until I'm on camera because I'm impatient, but I thought I would do it this time because we're already doing a haul of sorts, so let's open it. Ah, The Book of Night by Holly Black. I'm glad I didn't get that. Even your shadow can be stolen. Oh, they got some big names to write on the back of that. It's a pretty book. This is a Gravebone Dagger replica. Be as badass as Mia Crevere with this Nevernight replica dagger. Very cool. Okay, so this is the Goddess of Night teacup and saucer. Our third Greek mythology-inspired teacup features Nyx. Nyx is the goddess of night and was the mother of sleep, darkness, and death itself. Dark the Night Blackout Journal. Write down all your thoughts and dreams. Inspired by daughter of the moon goddess, which is, I believe that's Sulin Tan. And then Monstrous Metal Bookmark, inspired by Monstrous, which is cool. I haven't actually read most of this stuff, but it's really cool. Okay, so I'm pretty happy about all of that. It's very fun. I need to get everything on the shelves now, and then I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time, maybe tonight or tomorrow, I don't know. But this weekend, working on finishing up those origin scenes and the like ticking escalations of the internal conflict. But we're also setting up this weekend, we ordered a swing. That's my anniversary present, I guess, for our wedding anniversary. And so we have this new outdoor swing that we're going to set up, and we have to do some landscaping in order to actually have a spot to put it, and because we've been putting it off for forever, so have to do some manual labor this weekend. But when I have breaks, I will be trying to finish up those origin scenes. But yeah, I think that's my update for right now. This is going to be the future spot of a hammock swing, and I'm very excited. We got a few of the pieces so far, but the rest of the stand hasn't come in yet. We have the chair, and I'm just so excited to just sit here in the evenings and hang out. Go watch the kids playing. As you can see, we have not started setting up the garden this year, so there's still some weeds growing in some of these beds where we haven't planted anything. But we're most of the way through setting up this walkway that'll make maintenance a lot better and hopefully reduce the number of just extra bugs around here. Our plants tend to get destroyed by bugs. Our berries are doing really great though. We had to trim them back a lot. The blackberries especially have been sort of taking over. We have our strawberries, blueberry bush back there. The front here is raspberries. Those are the blackberries. And we got these super cool lavender plants to add to the little flower garden once it cools down a little bit more. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm exhausted. We have a little bit more to do tonight, and I think it's good. I'm hoping the rest of the swing gets delivered sometime this week so we can get that set up, because I'm very excited about it and I want to be able to hang out here now that we put this much work into it. This would also make it a lot easier to like weed whack and mow back here, because especially around these garden beds, it's a pain to get through there. So I don't know, it's been a lot of work, but I'm glad we got it done. So gonna get ready and maybe start working on some origin scenes. Okay, so it is Monday, Memorial Day, and it has been a hell of a day and a half. We started yesterday morning working on a bunch of landscaping outside. My hands, I know you won't be able to see on camera, but they're like bruised all along here just from pushing down the little underlayment pins. And I really wanted to do some writing last night, but my hands hurt so bad that I was like, I can't hold a pen right now. It's probably what, like 1 o'clock? I just had lunch, had a cup of coffee, I showered after working this morning. We still have a little bit to do tonight, but for the most part I have a little snack. I have my notebook that I'm working on the origin scenes in, and I'm going to try to get some more of them done. Okay, I've done a lot of this, like 3 pages further in, and I'm just so sore and tired. I don't know. I still need to finish up a little bit more, but my big goal is to get all this done before, not this next weekend, but the next weekend, because I'm going on a writing retreat, and I want to be really working on that rewrite during that. So I think I'm going to end this vlog here. I'm going to keep working on this over the next like week or so, probably get started on the rewrite, get organized for that. I'm really hoping I get my new desk before I leave, because I'm sad. Keep it out for the next video. Hopefully it's going to be the second half or part 2 of my studio writing space renovation. Once I have the new desk, in theory, assuming I get it.
But we'll see. We'll see. If you want to see more vlogs, like, subscribe, comment, you know what to do. But yeah, I'll see you next time.